Well, hello, everyone. I'm Phil DeVol, and I'm associated with the Bridges work and Getting Ahead. And I would like to introduce someone to you that I've gotten to know in the last few months. Bill Barberg is the founder and president of InsightFormation. I've had the pleasure of being part of a conference that he held. It was online during COVID, of course. And I've also sat in on a couple of deep dive days, and I've been so impressed by what I've been hearing about the depth of work that they've done on housing. They work on other things too, but housing particularly. That I thought it would be great to have Bill kind of give us a quick summation of some of the brilliant things that they've done. And what impressed me, Bill, was how concrete your solutions were. You know, the kind of deep conversations that people had about things like, what do you do with people who are, or do for people that are living in cars? And when I heard of all the wonderful things that could happen there, I thought, boy, how concrete is that? Any Bridges community that is worried about this can take that information and run with it. So could you kind of describe how the deep dive days work and that information about living in cars?
Sure. So with the Housing Solution Summit, we're really stepping back from what an individual needs to do to solve their own housing crisis or what an individual program might try to do. And we try to look at the bigger picture and say, what are the different problems that are out there? And how can the community work together to solve the problems? And different organizations can play different roles and create new opportunities for individuals to find solutions. So with one of the most common problems when people get evicted is that they're living in their cars and they don't have a place to park or use the bathroom or things like that. But that's typically not something that an individual organization or program solves. But we looked at what's available in the community that would be very helpful. And a very promising practice that we've elevated is when faith communities set up the ability to use their parking lots equipped with a bathroom and a washing station and Wi-Fi for people to be able to park their cars at night so they're not being chased off some street by the police. And that can just give them the stability that they need to be able to keep their job and hopefully in 30 or 60 days have saved up enough to move back into an apartment.
So that's concrete things that people can do. And then when I was listening to your deep dive day, I was hearing more about what can be done around housing issues. And another quick one was you might give us some ideas on is everything I heard about tiny homes, right? And different ways of doing housing that are just not at the front of our minds.
Right. And again, oftentimes it's an individual trying to figure out how to solve their problem on their own, given the current system. And we step back and say, what if the community was really trying to create an environment that opens up a lot more opportunities? So it might be creating policies or pre-approved designs that reduce the cost of adding an accessory dwelling unit or using special financing that an individual couldn't do. But as part of a broader strategy, the community could work with the different, the banks or work with developers or even the construction companies to be able to create more effective options than if everyone was just working separately. And those can provide options that work economically for homeowners, for someone who needs to rent. And by working together, everyone can have lower costs and greater benefits.
So you know some of our Bridges communities. I think you've been in conversation with a few. Just real quickly, how do you see the connection between our work and yours, and what's happening in Bridges communities?
Yeah, well, the Bridges community brings a fresh and new way of thinking for many people about how do you help individuals and help them, work their way out of poverty. What we bring is a similar new way of thinking that says instead of each program or individual working separately, they look at what they can do more effectively by working together. And so it creates an opportunity for people in Bridges communities to help work on a broader strategy for addressing the housing crisis. And there's so many possibilities that are available, which is why we've created the Housing Solution Summit as an online event, and now a series of deep dive days where we bring 20 or so different sessions that are focusing on a particular topic, so people can learn from what others are doing and not have to replicate the wheel.
Wonderful. I've been really impressed by the partners that you've collected along the way. And could you just tell us who some of them are?
Sure. We're partnering with United Way Worldwide, National Urban League, Stakeholder Health, the Healthcare Anchor Network, a lot of different organizations that realize that something needs to be done to address the housing crisis, but they can't solve the problem on their own. And it's this ability to step back, look at strategies, look at the best ideas we can find, and see what other innovations can we do to make them better. And I think there's a lot of organizations who see that that's going to be the best way to address this very challenging issue.
Well, I see the same sort of vision that you do. I think that Bridges sites are already bringing people from different sectors together. And I think that coupled with what you're doing and us kind of working together, I think that our Bridges communities can really benefit, and the people that they work with who are in poverty. I could imagine getting graduates playing an active role in all of this. So we have a webinar coming up that people should look for on our website, and that's on September 2nd. And so we're going to be promoting that quite a bit. And we hope that those of you that are listening will join us for that. And then there's a Housing Solution Summit that's coming up as well. And you see the link below there so that you can learn more about what Bill Barberg is about. So what's next, Bill? What do people need to be looking for from your point?
The webinar on September 2nd is going to be giving an hour long, going into some of the different types of strategies, the different possibilities that are out there, and some of the success stories. And then that can point people to the series of deep dive days, which is one day each month. We've got a full day filled with sessions to really get deeper into how do you do these things, answering questions and seeing inspiring examples. And so by attending the first event, you're sort of equipped to invite other people to the broader Housing Solution Summit and these deep dive days. So it's start learning and then bring in community partners, collaborators, and help them be inspired of what you can do working together.
Yeah, I would recommend that too. I could imagine that when the organizers in a Bridges community get together, they could actually watch some of these things together online and then sit and talk about it while they're going, because we are natural partners. And Bill, thank you for all the great work you're doing.
Yeah, over the course of the entire year, we've got over 100 sessions that people will be able to access on demand. So if they really are interested in home sharing or accessory dwelling units or other models, they'll have the resources there right at their fingertips.
Super. Thanks so much, Bill.
Thank you.